Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another poem of the decade for you. We're going to look at Daljit Nagra's Look We Have Coming to Dover. Please like and subscribe. This is going to be really useful if you're doing Edexcel Pearson English Literature A-Level. So I'm going to start off by going through the poem, reading each verse and then talking about it. I wouldn't normally do this, but Daljit Nagra and this poem in particular have a real penchant for the sound of the poem, and we need to hear the sound of the poem in order to understand it. So let's get started. Stowed in the sea to invade, the alfresco lash of a diesel breeze, ratcheting speed into the tide, brunt with gobfuls of surf phlegmed by the cushy come-and-go tourists, proud on the cruisers, lauding the ministered waves. So there, I hope you can hear with that sibilance, stowed fresco diesel breeze, that there is that sound of the sea, and straight away we get this kind of tide, the waves washing, and we get the sense that we are arriving at Dover there, both in the aural imagery and in the visual imagery that is described. Daljit Nagra has this fantastic ability to use vocabulary in a really interesting way, and in a way that harks back to Anglo-Saxon poetry or Old English poetry, where there was a lot of alliteration and concentration on compacted imagery. So, for example, that notion of a diesel breeze, there is rhyme there, and the two ideas of a breeze adopting something that shouldn't be in it, the diesel. There's an unusual description there which makes us really experience that we can smell on the breeze the petrol of the boats that are passing or the boat that this person is on. The speed is ratcheting into the tide. There are gobfuls of surf phlegmed. Now here, without suggesting or describing the sort of abuse that might come towards someone who is immigrating into Dover, we get the sense of a harsh environment. There are gobfuls, and we've got that verb, the noun phlegm has been turned into a verb, phlegmed. We cannot here not have the idea of someone gobbing, someone spitting, someone aggressive, phlegming people. So mingled with the natural imagery of the sea and the waves and perhaps harsh weather, we have the harshness of the reception that some people are going to give immigrants. Stanza 2. Seagull and shoal life, vexing their blarneys upon our huddled camouflage, past the vast crumble of scummed cliffs, scramming on mulchous thunder on bladders, yobbish rain and wind on our escape, hutched in a Bedford van. Again, we have those ideas of unbladdering and yobbish rain. They are being assaulted by water, by unhelpful water, by water, the weather of England. The weather is attacking them, but there is also this suggestion that the yobbishness and the unbladdering, people pissing on them even. We say pissing down for rain, but people pissing on them, not perhaps in a literal sense, but in a metaphorical sense. So very cleverly here, Nagra has incorporated the image of hostility with the image of the natural hostility of the weather. Seasons or years we reap, inland, unlocked by the national eye, all stabs in the back, teemed for breathing, sweep of grass through the whistling asthma of parks, burdened, ennobled, poling sparks across pylon and pylon. So here the imagery of the sea has gone, and we are looking more at the long term, this middle stanza here, the long term existence and the notion of perseverance here. Unclocked by the national eye, we move away from places where we can be seen or noticed, and we just quietly work. We are reaping for years, inland, away from the sea, protected. And here is a natural progression from the moment of immigration to the kind of hard work and the experience of life, sometimes the asthma of parks, burdened, ennobled. We are burdened by a life, but there is also something ennobling. Now we have reached dry land and we are in England. Swarms of us grafting in, the black within shot of the moon's spotlight, banking on the miracle of sun, span its rainbow, passport us to life. Only then can it be human to hoik ourselves, barefaced for the clear. Here, scores of us, there is a reference there of some of the political narrative that is constructed around immigration. And that word swarms of us, it harks back to the stowed in the sea, but it also is derogatory in terms of describing a pest that is coming in. Here, the voice in the poem is being ironic about the way that people tell us that there are swarms and swarms of immigrants, but they are undercutting that idea and saying that we've worked hard, we are waiting for the miracle of the sun, we are owning that word. Instead of you calling us that, I am saying it about ourselves, and I am gently laughing at you and your English weather and the way that you think that you're not immigrants yourselves, because that really is what this poem is about. By harking back to the old English language, Nagra here is saying, look, everyone in this country virtually is an immigrant. We have French, we have the Romans, we have the Vikings, we have people throughout history have been coming to this land and making it what it is. Now we are the new ones that are coming, and we can manipulate your language cleverly and tell you our story. And so there is a stand by Nagra here against those who want to push against immigration, and instead a demonstration that the richness of people coming in and sharing culture can be very beneficial, and that it has been going a long way back in our history. He's saying that it can be beneficial in the very writing of this poem. The epigraph at the top, so various, so beautiful, so new, is taken from a very traditional English poem by Matthew Arnold that is about the beach, Dover Beach. And by doing this, Nagra is saying, look, we are also various, beautiful and new, and we are coming to enrich culture. Now, in that poem, Matthew Arnold is concerned about the losses of some things, but by actually writing this poem, Nagra is suggesting, look, I have my language, I have my poetry, I can create something new and beautiful, and I can offer something. The very last stanza is very similar to the idea based in Arnold's poem. Imagine my love and I, our sundry others, belair'd in the cash of our beeswax cars, our crash clothes free. We raised our charged glasses over unparasoled tables, east, babbling our lingos, flecked by the chalk of Britannia. Now that point there, babbling our lingos, again, is a kind of self-parody, and it's Nagra mocking the voice of those who would talk about foreigners babbling their lingos. He is owning that language, and he is saying, we are here, we are part of this Cool Britannia, which was the Blairite years, and we are able to do the things that everybody in this land does. We will raise our glasses, but where will we raise them? We will raise them east. We will raise them back, perhaps to where we've come from, but we will still be flecked by the chalk of Britannia. We will be here, in reference to the iconic Dover cliffs made of chalk, and we are somewhat included in this community. So I hope that has helped you with some ideas to start you off on your analysis of Daljit Nagra's Look We Have Coming to Dover. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back with some more poems of the decade.